On February 25, 2025, 21 employees resigned from the Department of Government Efficiency, known as DOGE. These were not low-level employees. They were engineers, data scientists, and product managers. These were people at the very top of their fields. They had left lucrative jobs in the private sector to serve their country. Their decision to resign sent shockwaves through Washington. It was a vote of no confidence in the direction of the Trump administration. These employees had dedicated their careers to making government work better. They believed in the power of technology to improve people's lives. They had joined the government out of a sense of duty. They wanted to make a difference. But something had changed. They no longer felt welcome in their own government. The resignations were a sign of deep unrest within the civil service. Many government employees felt that their work was being undermined. They felt that their expertise was being ignored. And they felt that the Trump administration was more interested in ideology than in results. The resignations were a major embarrassment for the Trump administration. It was a sign that the administration was losing the support of even its own employees. The administration tried to downplay the resignations, but the damage was done. The employees who resigned from DOGE were a rare breed. They were highly skilled professionals who could have worked anywhere in the world, but they chose to work for the government. They believed in public service. They wanted to use their skills to make a difference in the lives of others. Many of the employees had previously worked at the United States Digital Service, or USDS. USDS was a small team of tech experts who were brought in to fix the government's biggest technology problems. The team was formed in the wake of the disastrous rollout of healthcare.gov. USDS was tasked with making sure that something like that never happened again. The employees who worked at USDS were some of the best and brightest minds in the country. They came from companies like Google, Amazon, and Facebook. They were used to working on complex problems at scale. And they were not afraid to challenge the status quo. At USDS, these employees helped to transform the way the government delivered services. They made it easier for people to apply for benefits. They made it easier for veterans to access health care. And they made it easier for businesses to comply with regulations. When Donald Trump was elected president, many of the employees who worked at USDS were worried. They knew that Trump had campaigned on a promise to drain the swamp in Washington. They were afraid that he would gut the federal government, and they were afraid that he would get rid of the programs that they had worked so hard to build. Their fears were soon realized. After Trump took office, he appointed a number of people to key positions in the government who had no prior experience in government. Many of these appointees were also hostile to the idea of government. They believed that the government was too big. They believed that the government was too inefficient. And they believed that the government was too intrusive. One of the first things that Trump did was to impose a hiring freeze on the federal government. This made it difficult for agencies to fill critical vacancies. It also sent a message to government employees that they were not valued. The Trump administration also began to roll back many of the regulations that had been put in place by the Obama administration. These regulations were designed to protect the environment, to protect consumers, and to protect workers. But the Trump administration saw them as being burdensome to businesses. In addition to these policy changes, the Trump administration also created a hostile work environment for many government employees. Career civil servants were often sidelined, their expertise was ignored, and they were pressured to carry out policies that they disagreed with. One of Trump's most controversial moves was to appoint Elon Musk as the head of DOGE. Musk was a brilliant entrepreneur, but he had no experience in government, and he had no interest in public service. Musk's appointment was seen by many as a sign that Trump was more interested in rewarding his friends than in finding the best people to run the government. Musk's tenure at DOGE was short and tumultuous. He quickly clashed with the agency's career staff. He did not understand how the government worked, and he was not interested in learning. Musk wanted to run DOGE like one of his companies. He wanted to move fast and break things. But the government is not a startup. It is a complex organization with a long history and a lot of rules. Musk's management style alienated many of the agency's employees. They felt that he was not listening to them. They felt that he was not respecting their expertise, and they felt that he was putting the agency's mission at risk. In February 2025, Musk issued a directive to all DOGE employees. He told them that they needed to start producing more tangible results. He told them that they needed to start thinking like entrepreneurs, and he told them that they needed to start taking more risks. Musk's directive was met with resistance from the agency's employees. They felt that he was asking them to do the impossible. They felt that he was setting them up to fail, and they felt that he was putting their jobs at risk. The employees who resigned from DOGE were not just protesting Musk's leadership, they were protesting the Trump administration's entire approach to government. They believed that the Trump administration was trying to dismantle the government from the inside out, and they refused to be a part of it. The resignations at DOGE were a sign of things to come. These resignations were a sign that the Trump administration was losing the support of the very people who were supposed to be carrying out its agenda.